I don't think I ever lacked confidence. I think that's pretty much been in me since the beginning, which is like, I don't know. And I think my parents always taught me to, look at people and everything's just equal. Like nothing seems that intimidating enough for me to not be confident. I think the most intimidating situation I was in recently was like, I met Malala. I was like, you're Malala, that's crazy. But other than that, everything else seems pretty simple.
Both audiences and critics have fallen in love with Abbott Elementary and the show's creator and star,
Quinta Brunson, Abbott Elementary.
This fall, the 32-year-old won her first Emmy for outstanding writing in a comedy series.
First thoughts, I was just like, wow, okay, I guess, like first year. But everything with Abbott was it's not that I couldn't see the show being nominated or winning awards. It's very rare that you get to actually experience that kind of thing in the first season. To be honest, I knew who I was in the category with. I felt very confident about my chances, and I felt good about the pilot for Abbott. Like I felt like it was a good pilot.
We are at a crossroads. This is a crisis.
No, a crisis is eating the cafeteria pizza for lunch. So it wasn't as shocking to me as it was just, wow, I'm really like winning an Emmy right now. That's great. Now what am I gonna? It was more like, what am I gonna do now? Like, do I have to go to space? Like, what is next? I guess it's interesting too because like Cheryl was of course with me, and Cheryl had been working for so long to get that acknowledgement, and I felt like I just got here. I am extremely grateful, but I was just like, that's crazy. Like, what am I gonna do now? I don't know. Guess just make more Abbott and just keep it moving. To be honest, I didn't have to deal with much of I don't see it. I would say there was one other network that will remain nameless that I think didn't understand the value of it. But that's how it goes. That's not abnormal when you're selling shows. You get, it's kind of a bidding war. And I think ABC won that bidding war because they saw a little bit more value in it. Yes! Oh, do you hear that? Optimism wins again! I feel like Warner Brothers has been by my side for a long time, and they saw the beauty in Abbott right away. And my co-showrunners, co-EPs, Justin Halpern and Patrick Schumacher, also saw the vision right away. They had been seeing it for years, actually, before we actually sat down to make it. Our director and EP, but he just came on as a director of the pilot, Randall Einhorn, he saw it right away, which was a real blessing to have him. He had come from the mockumentary world, started out a DP on The Office, but then became one of their main directors. So having someone like him that was familiar with the world come on board just like that and love it so much that he wanted to become like a permanent resident of the Abbott world was great. So I was fortunate in that a lot of people saw the vision and the value right away. That's a good feeling that I think isn't, it's not always a common LA story. Most certainly not a common LA story for, Black creators, but I think that's a sign that times are changing, that it wasn't that hard for me.
We used to have a gifted program, Lollipop Guild, but then,
Oh, let me guess. We don't have the money.
Oh, no, we have the cheddar. It's sitting in an account. We just can't touch it. Believe me, I tried.
I was intentional about making it a workplace comedy. I know that a lot of other people watched the first season of Abbott and they saw a lot in it. That is there, don't get me wrong, the care for teachers, the heart, the humor, the relationships, the romance, all of that is there. But to me, this wouldn't be successful if it was not a workplace comedy, that you come to this workplace, the audience can expect to get some situation that's happening that will be funny.
Let me see these permission slips to the zoo, and they better be real, because I can tell if you faked a Herbie Hancock.
Oh, it's John Hancock.
Girl, I know. I just say whatever I want.
That was really intentional. I didn't want to leave the school in the first season, except for the finale. And in the finale, they go to the zoo. And I was like, I want the audience to feel like they're going on a field trip too. Like they've been in school all year and now everyone's pumped to go to the zoo. That was really intentional. And even though Abbott has so many, important parts to it, I love that teachers have found such representation in it. I love that young Black people, young Black educators have found representation in it. The queer community has found representation in it with Jacob. But to me, the goal was, if it is not a workplace comedy, then I'm not doing my job. Then I could go make something else.
Gregory, Broseph, Brotato. Yeah, I'm still finding that.
I just think comedies have been teetering on the lines of dramedy, and also they were getting more and more complicated, which isn't a bad thing. I love a lot of those complicated comedies, but I also wanted people to be able to pop into any episode of Abbott without knowing any backstory and still have a good time, because that's what my favorite kinds of shows were like.
Ah! Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just so happy to be back. I did this. Part of my hair on a different side.
I think with Abbott's second season, I think 22 episodes felt like a lot, and we all had no choice but just go. We're doing it, right? It's like we're doing it. So we're doing it. That's our only choice. I felt impressed. I put a lot of trust in the team I work with, and it wasn't the same situation as it was last year. We filmed and edited, and the 13 episodes were finished before the show even started airing. Yeah. This year, that's not the case. We're about to film the 16th episode while the 8th episode is about to air, while we're mixing the 9th episode, while we're writing the 20th one. All of this stuff is happening all at once, and somehow we are getting through it, and somehow people are still having a good time and enjoying the show. That makes me feel very accomplished and safe, because I don't have the exact same handle on it that I did the first season, but part of this process is learning to trust the engine that you built, and I do trust it, and it's working, and I think that's because of having like a good team. Everyone is so good at their jobs that I don't have to wear myself out, trying to do a million different jobs. So I'm happy. I guess I'm saying I'm happy about the team that was assembled to continue to make Abbott. And we were fortunate. It was a lot of the same people from the first season, so that was really nice. But that means we create a positive working environment, which is important to me, like having a place that people want to come back to. And that feels priceless. Like we got most of our kids back from the first season. Our crew wasn't taking other jobs so that they could come back to Abbott. Those things make me feel very like, okay, we're doing the right thing.
Weird Al Yankovic is one of the most exciting new artists in pop music today.
This year, Quinta also portrayed Oprah in the film Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
I love Daniel Radcliffe. That's my guy. Just good people. I met him on the show Miracle Workers, which I did a season of that.
I'm gonna prove it right now.
And so when the Weird Al script got sent to my agents and they said Daniel was playing Weird Al, I was like, bet. Yeah, I would love to come hang with him. And then they said Oprah, and I was like, whoa, hold on. But I read it and I was like, oh, I can do this justice, because it wasn't too serious, in which I would not have been the girl for that job. But it also wasn't too dumb, because I didn't want to like insult Oprah or tarnish her legacy. It felt like the exact right way for me to play Oprah. So I was all about it. And Weird Al is so nice. I didn't meet him until I got on set, and he was just wonderful, a delight. And it was just a bunch of good comedy people. And the movie is so stupid. And I say that in the best way. It was just fun to be a part of something that dumb. And I love dumb comedies, and I think we're running out of them. We need more. And I kind of want, I want that for my nieces and nephews. I want them to have pure, just stupid comedies, because it should be a part of the atmosphere of comedy.
Quinta opened up about some of the performances from Black actors that have inspired her this year.
I just saw Black Panther, and I appreciated Letitia's performance so much that it's a certain kind of excitement to watch someone be that good at their craft, period. But then when it's another Black girl it's a sense of pride, and also that they're doing something that you can't do. Like, I don't know, I get excited by that. I have a friend, Io Edebiri, who's in the show The Bear, and watching her do that is so inspiring to me. She's such a good actress, and there's things that you wish you could do as an actress or a creator that you just can't, and that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not to say that you're not good at what it is you do, but like, it's so cool to see people showing the different shades of us, if that makes sense. Like, watching someone just really kill it in their career is exciting to me, and it inspires me. It makes me want to, like, I don't know, just keep creating alongside them.
Quinta's family has also been enjoying special moments from her success this year.
I think for my dad, it was like when I was on Jimmy Fallon, because he's a huge fan of Jimmy Fallon, but specifically from the movie Taxi with Queen Latifah. I've never seen my dad fan out. He's kind of like me, where nothing's that big a deal. Nothing really phases him. And he met Jimmy Fallon. He's like, hey, remember in Taxi when you was like, whoa, what I was like? And it was funny because Jimmy Fallon really likes that movie too. So I think he felt excited that he had someone to talk about Taxi with, because it's not the shining star of his career, but he really liked the movie, and my dad did. And it was just the cutest thing in the world. And so I think for him, it was just, maybe not so much me being on Fallon, but him meeting Jimmy Fallon because of me, I think was really special. That was a fun time. I think my mom got to meet, in her words, a root, because she met Questlove, and she was like, I met a root. And so that was a big deal for her. The bar's not that high for them. Like, I think if you asked my dad what was the most exciting thing, you would think like Emmy or some of this other stuff, but he would say Jimmy Fallon for sure. I don't talk about my relationship that often, just because it's something I like to keep sacred and safe. Yeah. Nor do I like bring him out to be analyzed or attacked by the world. We had such a year together, and he has truly been by my side and supportive every step of the way. So for him to be there with me at the Emmys and like help me up to get my award, and to be able to thank him too, was very special. Like, that was definitely a special time. But I would say on a smaller level, sometimes it's little stuff, like me getting a couch that I really liked was a big deal in our household. Like, nailing a couch for me to sit on when I get home that has the right width for both of us to lay on it at the same time. And also the cat, and like, that's the kind of stuff that matters, I think, to us. I like hanging out with my friends. I love seeing my friends. Everyone says that, but that's a priority for me. Like, after work, I try to have drinks or a meal with at least one person in my life that's not technically related to work. And sometimes, like, a lot of my friends at work are my friends. Like Tyler and Chris and Janelle, like, will hang out. But I just try to make sure I give myself real life hangout time. So that's really important to me. I do have a little bit of a weird that I'm working through, but I've had it since like internet famous days of just a little like, what is the word? Social anxiety. So I don't really go out that much to places that are that public. The biggest risk I'll take is Universal Studios, because I kind of feel like this is my turf. And I have no right to say that, but like, these are my hallowed grounds. Like, I know that park like the back of my hand, so I also know how to escape, and people know, that's how bad it is. People know me. Like, there are places in that park where they're like, what's up, you come. And so, I don't know, I think I had a really interesting fan interaction at a party recently where a girl came up to me, and it's sad, but it just put into perspective for me what a comedy can do. And she said a friend of hers had passed away and was watching Abbott, and she was watching Abbott with her before she passed away. And after her friend passed away, like, one of the things her friend asked her to do was like to finish the show. And I was just like, and we're at a party, and now I'm crying at this party. I was just like, part of me was like, why would you tell me that right now? But also, like, I'm so happy you did that. And then there was someone else recently at a shoot who said she was the stepmother to 2 kids, and Abbott was the first show that they got to watch as their own little family. And I was just like, well, come on. So it's stuff like that that makes me just remember the power of a good show, but also a good comedy. Like, we're not Game of Thrones or like Handmaid's Tale. It's a 22-minute sitcom meant for everyone to enjoy. And I think the best thing I can hear about it is that everyone's enjoying it, and it's bringing people together who otherwise might not be having anything to share with each other. So that really gets me.